Okay, so the next skill looks at compound growth and compound decay. Growth is where the percentage increase over time, and decay is where the amount reduces over time. Often this is a question around interest in bank accounts, because the percentage that you get is the percentage of the new amount, so the interest keeps on adding on. You earn interest on interest. So the formula that we need to know is to use the multiplier that we've already used for percentage change, and then remember that we need to raise the multiplier to the power of the number of time periods, and that's going to help us find our final amount. So, initially 1,000 people have a virus. Infections increase by 30% per day. How many have the virus after 30 days? Well, the first thing we're going to need to do is work out what the decimal multiplier is that we use. So I've got 100%, which is the population that have already got the virus, plus another 30%, which is 130%. And I need to remember to change that to a decimal, so divided by 100 is 1.3. That's my multiplier. My final amount, then, is the initial amount, so I started with 1,000 people, times 1.3, which is my multiplier, to the power of 30. And the reason why it's to the power of 30 is after day 1, you times it by 1.3. After day 2, you times it by 1.3 again, times by 1.3 again. You do that 30 times. The quickest way to do that is using the power button on your calculator. So we're going to type in 1,000 times 1.3 to the power of, and just so that you're able to see it, that's my button here for the power of, to the power of 30. Notice it's a very, very big number. So let's have a look at what that number is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2,600,000, or 2.6 million people. So even if only 1,000 people started having the virus, at this growth rate, in the space of 1 month, 2.6 million people would have the virus. So it grows very, very quickly. What we're actually seeing is the growth rate, which you will have seen if you looked at some of the coronavirus figures, that goes like that. So it carries on sloping upwards and upwards ever faster. Okay, so let's have a look at an interest question on that. So how much interest is earned if £500 is deposited at 3%? PA means per annum, per year, for 5 years. So again, we start by finding our decimal multiplier. So I've got my 100% that I already had, plus the 3% interest I'm being given. It's 103%, which as a decimal divided by 100 equals 1.03. So my final amount equals what my £500 I started with, times my 1.03, my decimal multiplier, to the power of my number of years, to the power of 5. Let's do that on the calculator. 500 times 1.03 to the power of 5 gives me £579.64 to the nearest penny. 579.64. Be careful here, because it's asked how much interest is earned. The total amount in my account is £579.64. The interest is the new money, £579.64. Take away 500, which is £79.64 interest. Be careful with these questions. Sometimes it will ask you for the final amount, sometimes it'll just ask you for the interest. Alright, pause the video now while you write these down. When you're ready, press play and we can have a look at some questions for you to try. Okay, so just 4 questions for you to try. So for the first 2 you're calculating the interest. Make sure that at the end you take away the starting amount so you can work out how much new money there is in the account. For question 3 you've got a growth rate of 20% per hour. How many one day later? 1 full day, so that's 24 hours later. For question 4 you've got a depreciation question. So here the value is going down, it's losing 20% per year, so you're going to have to do 100% take away 20% to find your decimal multiplier and work out how much the car's worth in 10 years' time. Pause the video now, have a go at the questions. When you're ready, press play and you can look at the solutions. Okay, so here are the 4 solutions. For question 1, you should have had £1,147.04 interest, making sure that you've taken £2,000 away from this value here. Making sure that you had taken £300 away gave you £12.21 interest. Here you've got 24 time periods, so times 1.2 to 24 gave you 7,950 bacteria. And for your last one, your £5,000 car that loses 20% of its value each year ends up being worth £536.87. Very well done, give yourself a mark out of 4. And if you need any further help on that, please take a look at Hegarty, Compound Growth and Decay. Well done.